What's up, y'all? I think this is going to be quick, but it's an interesting reflection that I'm having right now. I just was scrolling on Instagram and I saw, Adrienne Marie Brown had reposted a woman, and I don't know who she is, but she's talking about Tiffany Haddish being asked to host the Grammys for free, which I was unaware of. And I was like, why? Why would she do that? So that was that one thing. And then I saw another post that was about Snoop Dogg shaming Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B for making the song WAP and proposing that there's some things about women's sexuality that they should keep private. And I was like, huh? Who said what to who? And then I saw a post from Sarah Jones reposting an article from the Wall Street Journal about why Dr. Jill Biden should drop the doctor off of her name so that people don't think she's a medical doctor, because that feels fraudulent. And I was like, huh? Who? And what I realized is, on this fine eclipse day, big ups, new moon eclipse in, is it in new moon eclipse in Sagittarius? I think. Anyway, what I got clear about real fast is that there are all manner of fascinating ways in which these systems attempt to check us on an individual and on a collective level. And that's what we're watching inside of those, is the system of white supremacy trying to check Tiffany Haddish, right? Like, yes, A-list superstar comedian with major motion pictures under your belt and television specials and endorsement deals and best-selling books. You should do this for free because you're not quite famous enough. We will give you a bigger platform. And I'm like, how? How are you giving Tiffany Haddish a bigger platform? Tiffany Haddish is helping you. And it was my reminder that, white supremacy will always tell Black people that it's offering them something they don't have already. That it's doing them a favor for free, right? Like, just by allowing you to be in their space is doing you a favor, right? And while everything in the material world makes it very clear that that is complete and utter bullshit, the Grammys tried it anyway, because white supremacy will always, that is the time we are in right now, right? Is that these systems are trying to, it's being challenged on the structural level. People are protesting. People are fighting back in all of these ways. And so what we are receiving is like, well, if we can individually tap into your particular lack of self-worth, your particular area of not enoughness, then we can check you in this really public way. And consequently, we can also continue to corral the masses, right? So this is when I talk about why radical self-love is so necessary, right? Is because radical self-love is the internal mechanism that keeps us from falling into the illusion of the ladder of bodily hierarchy, right? The illusion that somehow I could do that. I'm not enough, but if I do this thing, then that will validate my enoughness, right? And so inside of the system of white supremacy and sexism and patriarchy, right? Inside of that system, of course, Tiffany Haddish would think that, she needs the Grammys rather than the Grammys need her. Bonkers, right? Also, Snoop Dogg, like these agents of patriarchy right now that are just out here in these streets. That Snoop Dogg, whose career has been built on detailing all the things that women have allowed him to do to their bodies sexually. All the ways in which, he is, all his sexual exploits, right? But they would propose that two women who engage in their own agency around their sexuality should engage in some sort of modesty in the same career that he holds, in the same, like, they're hip-hop artists. Hip-hop has historically always been a place to talk about what the world says you shouldn't talk about, right? And very specifically, men have used hip-hop to talk about women's sexuality as object. And so now that two women have decided to engage in their sexuality as subject, he's like, oh, I don't have control over it anymore, right? But again, the mechanism is to name that out loud in such a shaming way that it triggers the not enoughness, right? And then even if Megan and Cardi don't fall in line, somebody in the larger, ether, someone in the larger sphere will hear that and then be like, right, I shouldn't do that, right? And then there's this immediate shrinking of one's own being, right? And then, lastly, whoever this whack-ass white man on the Wall Street Journal, who would propose that this woman who has a doctorate, who has a PhD, should not name that because it's not as important as whatever it is that he has constructed. And the truth of the matter is, if anybody else in the White House had a PhD and they also had a penis, and identified as male, he'd be just fine. Like, just fine with them including the term doctor on the way in which, on their title. So I just wanted to point out the ways in which these systems are out here really trying to gather us back into a formation that is malleable to the system. There is a real desire to return to a state of control. And I want you to notice it. Where are these systems trying to control you in your thinking on a daily basis? Where is the system of white supremacy? Where's the system of patriarchy? Where's the system of sexism trying to put you back in your place? Because that's all that was a whole bunch of systems trying to put particularly these four women, back in their place. Fuck the system. Do not let these systems try to put you in your place. Your place is wherever the fuck you decide it is. That's where it is. And all this to anybody who would try to put you elsewhere. A hard elbow check in the chin to any system that would try to put you any place other than where you desire to be. Okay. Bye.